It was night. Lu Fan and all his companions were enjoying dinner. And then Jia Oman asked Lu Fan, "Why do you need to go? Why do you want to trouble yourself?" Aunt Han agreed. "Lu Fan, accidents are very easy to happen. You shouldn't go." And then NT Han said, "Lu Fan, can I use the teleportation scroll Miss Ye gave me?" Hearing this, everyone looked at Aunt Ye in surprise, wondering why she said that. There are other ways. Kim Koo said, "Hey, you can take a plane or ride a God's Bone clone. The one that's been put into the corpse." He also told Kim Koo that it would take at least a month or two to reach the western border. But Lu Fan smiled and said, "I can't summon the fallen corpse golem right now, but don't worry, because all the fallen corpse puppets have been swallowed by the fallen corpse sacred dragon. And finally, the high-quality code bond has transformed into the Dragon King. I've acquired a new blade ninja, bringing me to the 1 million mark, so I don't have to worry about any accidents." Hearing Lu Fan's words, Xiao Oman was shocked. "Is that really it? 100 million. You've acquired the attributes." Lu Fei replied, "Yes, of course. I originally planned to cultivate the dungeon to raise the level of my blade armor dragon. However, the opening of the Shenju secret realm is still more than a year away." Everyone was shocked to hear Lu Fan's words. Even Ya Ning looked at him in surprise. Aunt Han, who had always been worried about Lu Fan, looked at him and said, "Lu Fan, this means you'll be leaving again soon." Lu Fan smiled and said firmly, "Sure. We're leaving tomorrow morning." Lu Fan said goodbye to his aunt and everyone else the next morning. And he set off on his journey westward, exploring the 14 regions alone. During his journey, he killed many bosses and rare elites. This included other types of monsters and beasts as well. Even a nightmare-level lucky dungeon, where Lu Fan killed all the beasts and moved on, and got rid of many predators greedy for these materials. And in all these battles, Lu Fan raised the levels of all his beasts. The small blood armor dragon also reached level 57, and almost all the dragon's levels increased rapidly. After this, Lu Fan reached the western border about a month later. After wandering for a long time, Lu Fan finally saw the edge of the western border. Lu Fan realized that the time for the San Issue secret area to open was very near. At that very moment, he decided it was time to turn back. But just then, a beast that had been waiting for Lu Fan appeared and stared at him. But then Lu Fan noticed it. He muttered to himself, "This is the Golden Wing Stone. It's a ferocious beast found in Western lands. This border lens is as tall as the mountain and has a level of 94. Lu Fan immediately gets into a fighting stance. Lu Fan knew its components would also be incredibly rare. Lu Fan immediately springs into action and charges forward to attack. Lu Fan immediately throws his sickle, tied to a chain, at it. Lu Fan wanted to kill it, pick it up, and give it to his superior as a gift. But then Lu Fan's sickle landed directly in the large bird's claws. The large bird flew rapidly into the air. Because of the chain, Lu Fan had to fly with it. But Lu Fan snatched his sickle from its claws. He took a step back to attack, and then launched his next attack. Lu Fan swung both sickles once again, aiming directly at its throat, creating a noose around the large bird's neck. Lu Fan didn't want to kill it. And then he ordered, "If you don't want to die, do your job properly." Lu Fan used his 2 chains to tie it up, and then the bird flew faster. Its speed had increased significantly. Lu Fan was feeling better now and muttered, "Hey, it's working fine. And it's very fast. If I fly at this speed, I'll definitely make it in time." But then a voice came from behind, confusing the large bird. And the bird suddenly moved. Lu Fan realized that someone was casting a net over the bird. And then a voice came from behind. "Cast the net over it and catch it." Lu Fan was still standing behind, but by then, Some people had cast a large net over the bird, completely trapping it. Here, the man who wanted to catch the bird smiled and looked at him, and said, "Hold the net firmly. The prey is trapped in the net. Use all your strength and don't let it escape." But then, Lu Fan made a decision, transformed his hand into a dragon's claw, and shattered the net with a single blow. And the huge animal immediately fell to the ground. All the hunters rushed towards the large animal, but then Lu Fan launched a powerful attack on the ground. Dust flew everywhere, and all the hunters fell a few feet away. And then, regaining his composure, he looked at Lu Fan and said, "Who is it? Who is doing this?" Lu Fan stood in front of them, staring angrily. Everyone was terrified when they saw Lu Fan, and on the other hand, they wanted to kill him. They thought he was the one who killed the big bird. But as soon as they saw Lu Fan, they said, "Judging by his attire, it seems he was searching for many things alone." They mistook Lu Fan for an explorer and advanced to attack him. Their leader said, "He's from a prestigious family, isn't he? Kill him immediately." Everyone moved toward Lu Fan. But Lu Fan glared at them, saying, "Perhaps you're too little familiar with the news from the Western Mountains, and you don't know the news there. Because you're from a prestigious family, you don't recognize your leader." Lu Fan immediately attacked and punched him hard in the face. This chapter ends here. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to see the next chapter. See you in the next one.